Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should be further by now? You wake up, check your phone, scroll through social media, and see people your age buying cars, starting businesses, traveling the world, and you sit there wondering, what am I doing wrong? You work hard, yet it feels like nothing's moving. You keep telling yourself, maybe one day things will change, but that one day keeps running further away. I know that feeling. We've all been there, frustrated, tired, trying so hard to make something happen but stuck in the same place. And the truth is, the difference between people who stay stuck and people who change their lives isn't luck. It's mindset. Jim Rohn once said, if you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. That one quote changed the way I saw everything. Because when you really think about it, your situation doesn't need to change first, you do. See, the secret isn't in chasing quick success. It's in thinking big, starting small, and acting like the rich, even before the money comes. Most people think the rich became rich because they had money first. No, they became rich because they learned to think differently. Let me tell you a story about a guy named Daniel. He was broke, earning barely $600 a month working in a small print shop. Every month after paying rent, he was left with almost nothing. But Daniel had one thing most people didn't vision. While others complained about low pay, he used every spare minute to learn about business and design. He started saving $10 every week. His friends laughed at him. $10, that's nothing. But Daniel knew consistency matters more than the amount. 6 months later, he had saved $240. He bought an old printer and began printing flyers at home for small businesses. He worked from his bedroom. At first, no one took him seriously, but slowly he started getting clients. 1 year later, he was earning more from his small home setup than from his full-time job. That's what thinking big and starting small looks like. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to start. Because once you start, the path starts to reveal itself. Jim Rohn used to say, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. That means your situation may not transform instantly, but your mindset can. The rich aren't rich because they do one big thing. They're rich because they do small, consistent things that compound over time. Most people fail because they overthink. They want to see the whole staircase before taking the first step. But that's not how success works. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon in 1994, he didn't have a team of thousands. He was working from a small garage, packing books himself. Steve Jobs started Apple in his parents' home. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job as a TV reporter. Walt Disney was once told he lacked imagination. These people didn't start with millions. They started with vision and belief. Thinking big is about seeing beyond where you are, but starting small is about respecting where you are. When you mix both, success becomes inevitable. And let's be real, acting like the rich doesn't mean buying designer clothes or showing off. It means adopting their habits, their discipline, their mindset. When rich people wake up, they have purpose. They don't waste hours scrolling aimlessly or complaining about life. They study, plan, build, and invest. They value time more than anything because they understand time is money. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That hits hard because it's true. Most of us waste years wishing things would magically improve, but wishing doesn't change anything, working on yourself does. Read books, save money, build skills, improve your communication, learn how to manage your emotions. These are the foundations of wealth that money alone can't buy. Here's the thing, success is boring. It's not fireworks or overnight miracles. It's waking up early even when you don't feel like it. It's saying no to instant pleasure so you can say yes to long-term growth. It's doing the small, unexciting things that most people skip, because every little habit adds up. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." I remember a friend back in school. He was always talking about becoming a YouTuber, making money online, living his dream life. Every week he said, "I'll start soon," but he never did. 2 years later, another guy started with just his phone, bad lighting, and no fancy gear. His first videos were awkward, his voice shaky, his editing rough, but he kept posting. Fast forward 1 year, he's earning over $10,000 a month in sponsorships and brand deals. The first guy. Still saying, "I'll start soon." The difference isn't talent, it's mindset. One acted, the other just talked. You don't have to have everything to start. You just need to be consistent with what you have. You can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Every successful person you admire once looked foolish. They once didn't know what they were doing, but they did it anyway. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Jim Rohn said, "Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day." Likewise, success is a few disciplines practiced every day. Most people fail because they repeat bad habits, spending too much, procrastinating, complaining. The rich repeat good habits, saving, planning, learning, executing. If you earn $100 a week, don't say, "That's too small to save." Save 10. Invest another 10 in yourself, maybe a book or an online class. Use another 5 to build relationships, maybe buy someone coffee who can teach you something. That's how rich people think. They know that managing $100 well prepares them to manage 10,000 later. Money doesn't change who you are, it amplifies who you already are. I once met a man who worked as a cleaner for years. He told me, "When I was cleaning offices, I worked like I owned the company." Years later, he started his own cleaning business and now employs over 30 people. That's the mindset of someone who acts rich before becoming rich. You do what you can with what you have, where you are, and the rest follows. Another truth Jim Rohn shared is, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because your job will make you a living, but working on yourself will make you a fortune. Personal growth is what separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones. You can't stay the same person and expect a different life. Now let's talk about something real: envy. Most people secretly envy those doing better than them. They see someone succeed and say, "They're just lucky." But the rich don't think like that. They study success. They ask, "What can I learn from this person?" If someone is doing what you want to do, don't hate, learn. The day you start learning instead of judging is the day your life starts changing. Thinking big means setting goals that scare you, goals so big they force you to grow. But starting small means being humble enough to begin with what you've got. Maybe all you have is your phone, your skills, or your voice. That's enough. Because once you take the first step, the next one becomes clearer. Every great dream starts with a decision. You might be broke right now, but that's not your future. It's just your current chapter. You might not have support or resources, but if you have belief, you're already halfway there. Don't underestimate the power of small beginnings. The seed you plant today can become the tree that feeds your family tomorrow. Jim Rohn said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." And that's the truth. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be isn't luck, it's discipline. So if you're watching this, here's my challenge. Take one small step today, just one. Save $1, record that first video. Start that online store, write the first page of your book, reach out to that client. It might not seem like much now, but consistency will turn it into something powerful. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop saying one day, because one day is just an excuse that kills dreams. You don't need more time, you need more courage. Start small, fail fast, learn quickly, and keep moving. Jim Rohn said, "Success is something you attract by the person you become." So become that person. Think big, start small, and act rich in your habits, in your attitude, in your effort. Your mindset is your greatest asset. Once you change how you think, your entire life will start to shift. Don't wait to become rich to think rich. Start today, because everything great starts small.